I went to Poplar, Wisconsin, the home of... Poplar, Wisconsin is the home of what famous war hero? Yes! How come people in, like people in Canada don't know about these things? Like that guy from Chicago, that O'Hara, he only shot down 4 planes and he's more famous than Richard Bong. What's going on? And I hear that the word bong was funny back then too, even before Cheech and Chong got a hold of it.
Yeah.
You know, like how old is the water pipe bong? Like I thought that was a 70s thing.
Now, that's something I don't know either.
Because there was this girl by the name of Sarah Bong that made a whole swack of bongs. You know, and she put her name on it, Sarah Bong, 1974. And you say the word bong in most places, they want you dead. They want you to put you in jail. Don't say the word bong. You know?
Jeez, and it just happens to be this poor man's name.
Yeah. And did you see that movie? That East Indian guy and the Chinese guy.
Harold and
Kumar.
Yeah.
Did you see the scene?
Go ahead.
In the back of the plane, where the guy says he has this smokeless bong.
Oh.
He invented a smokeless bong. He goes into the restroom and he starts lighting it up, right? And the door opens a bit, and a guy in the passenger area yells out, "A bomb!" He says, "Oh, it's a bong! A bomb!" They all say, "Bomb! Bomb!" Do you remember that?
I did see it, but it's coming back
That's
a little bit.
fabulous. That's exactly how people are.
Exactly.
I don't get it. You know, I mean, they retired the guy twice in his career as fighting ace. And he kept coming back, and then I guess he just ended up being an instructor. I mean, he wasn't, what, 22 when he died? Or something crazy like that?
I know he was young.
Really young. And, wow, okay, and I noticed he's got 40 registered hits, 40 registered planes that he brought down, but I read 42. I guess those other 2 are unofficial. I guess it was just like a turkey shoot in South Pacific at times.
And this would be something to find out at the memorial.
Yeah.
Of course, they're
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, on a Monday.
Is that just Mondays?
Yeah. I got to head back, otherwise I'd stay. But you know what's really interesting is what they've done to the original memorial in Poplar. It was an old school to begin with, and I guess it got a remodeling and an addition installed in the 50s. And now that school is closed, and they've turned it into an apartment. And I bumped into the manager of the apartment and asked him if he'd give me a tour. He says, "Well, you know, they moved that 10 years ago to Superior." I said, "The P-38? Yeah.
Wow.
And the word bong at the old memorial, the G has just about faded away, so it's just B-O-N. So French for good.
Oh.
You know, Richard Bond. You know.
Interesting.
And he was Dutch.
Okay.
And what's funny about that is, remember what Mike Myers did to the Dutch in his movie with the guy that was eating his own skin, and he was Mr. Gold. He was Mr. Goldfinger, the Dutch guy, or he had a gold member.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Mike, yeah, he's a Canadian. Yeah. Wow.
Boy.
And apparently he made that P-38 go faster than any other pilot. He knew how to really tweak
He
them.
knew how to do it.
You know, we're talking like 450 miles an hour he was getting out of that plane. And I describe him as 3 cigars and 2 popsicle sticks when you see him up in the sky.
I bet, yeah, that's about it.
It's beautiful.
They have that over there. Is that the one? Is that inside or outside?
It's inside. They even closed the blinds. I couldn't even.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't even peek in there.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, you come all this way. I'm probably Richard Bong's one of his greatest fans. You know, as a matter of fact, I created a cartoon character by the name of Samuel B. Water. Now, Samuel B. Water is the unconfirmed legitimate son of Richard Ira Bong, because when he perished on August 8th, 1945, he didn't know that he had fostered a child. And I don't think she knew until, she got the later signs. But here, poor little Bong Jr., born without a daddy, and he got fostered off to guess who? The Water family, right? And he's been fighting this hyphenated conglomeration of his whole life. So, little Samuel Bongwater is being teased, and he's oblivious to hippies. He just puts up with them.
Right.
Yeah, so this guy's a little cartoon character on his own, Dr. Samuel Bongwater. And what's ironic about the guy is he's a doctor of tree surgery. Nobody told him he, couldn't graft two trees together, but when he did, they were so impressed that they gave him an honorarium doctorate of tree surgery. So he's Dr. Samuel Bongwater, and he has a very short-term memory, which augments the problem of the name in the first place.
Exactly.
Because it's an oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
You can't worry about the combination, and these kids, these hippies, are drinking that stuff. Ugh. They think it's funny. One guy turned it into a soda pop, and he got Eddie Van Halen to endorse it. And I think that company might still be online, but they're not doing it because no, that's not what you want to do with Bongwater. I find what Bongwater is really good for is if you want your leather or your vinyl, you can't afford leather in your car, pour some Bongwater on the carpet. Suddenly, ooh, what is that stink? That's leather. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Because they make vinyl so good now you can't tell them apart, especially in a Volkswagen. So, well, back in 1946, a movie that was produced about a traveling roadshow that crossed Canada. The traveling roadshow of the same name went to every major center in Canada between 1943 and 1945. It was called Meet the Navy. It was a gala. And that was before we knew what gay meant. Gala in those days were people that were just happy.
Right.
But I think half the men were gay. Because when you see the production today, which they made a movie of, ooh, there's some things in there that just make you want to squirm.
Really?
Yeah. So next time you're on YouTube, punch in Meet the Navy 1946.
Meet the Navy 46.
Yeah.
This is Canadian?
This is Canadian. It's on YouTube. And this movie disappeared in 1946 after its brief run because there was an argument between the major film company in Canada called the National Film Board and the BBC. The BBC ended up shooting this movie along with a Hollywood producer. And where all the trouble started was when the lead dancer, Blanche Lund, got polio, so she couldn't do the movie. She was in the roadshow, but she couldn't do the movie, so the Hollywood producer had to find an understudy. So he found a duet, which was lousy for the lead dancer, because he wants his girl, right? And the duet they found don't want to break up. So they used this Hollywood duet to replace the guy and girl that were leading the show, the lead dancers, right? And their performance turned out to be pretty corny. And we're talking Royal Canadian Navy here. You don't fuck around with them. They had a falling apart, and the Hollywood producer took the movie master back to Hollywood with him and threw it on a cut rate distribution program. Those $3 movies that you see at Walmart?
Yeah.
They come from this distribution house that pumps out cheap movies, right? And that's where our history of Canada ended up in this bargain bin. In the $3 bin. The producer died. The estate forwarded that master film back to guess who? The National Film Board, the people that were arguing about this thing in the first place. And I've got about 5 or 6 videos up there, all related to Meet the Navy. And one of them is the film newsreel done in 1944 about Meet the Navy. And it's cornier than hell, and they didn't even use the music from the show. So I went in and put the right music in, and when I did, the movie turned into this gay expose. Wait till you see it.
Really?
Oh, It's nuts. And this was done before village people were around.
Right.
And you can see where the village people got their idea from. Because Meet the Navy and In the Navy are very, very close when you see it. So.
Right. Well, we'll check that out.
Okay. This movie's going to be playing in my town of Saskatoon. November 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. In other words, I describe that as Remembrance Week. It's at the Broadway Theater. And the Broadway Theater opened their doors in 1946, which is really curious because that's when the movie was released, 1946. So when I get interviewed on CBC Radio next week, I'm going to be going with that story that this film was found in the basement.
Go with it.
It's a time capsule. Mm-hmm. Nowhere else on earth will you see this Royal Canadian Navy production. First ones, so I'm really playing that up.
Right.
Hope they go for it.
Hey,
Who cares?
Right. It sounds neat.
I think you should. You should check it out. Check it out. Yeah. So, and you'll find out that the website for YouTube is Dr. Bongwater. That's how you find it. So Dr. Bongwater. And I'm gonna have to put some Richard Ira Bong videos up there real soon.
Well, I thank you for enlightening me.
This is great. What a great job you got here.
I do. Today is very slow, but I'm glad you came along. I'm glad I learned something.
Well, you know what? You should have. You got a camera on your computer?
No.
Oh, you see, you should be blogging, journalizing.
I know.
You get an idea. Oh yeah, there was this strange guy from Canada here.
Well, I do that.
Dr. Bongwater.
I do that on my own, you see, but and I'm kind of dealing with work separation, but no, I'm a writer actually. So
Cool.
I do.
What kind of?
I'm going to school still, journalism.
Right on.
But in the meantime, I certainly have fun with.
Well, it's funny. These kids today, they figure they discovered the blog, and I'm saying to them, wait, kids, the blog is journalism. Where have you kids been?
No, and that's it is. I haven't gotten into that movement, but I'm reading all kinds of books and things in class now. Well, that's kind of where it is now. It's kind of the digital age of.
Yeah.
So go with it.
Well,
a little bit apprehensive, but what's it gonna?
Well, I'll tell you, the vets are talking in terms of 2011 being the end. This is probably the last Remembrance Day because they're all dying off. We're losing thousands of them. There's hardly any of them left. They're all in their 90s now. Like the lead dancer. There's only 2 survivors from the movie.
Really?
They're both female, and they were both dancers. Blanche is living in Halifax. She's sharp as a whip for a lady that's 91, And she talks about the past. Oh, and let me finish the story. My dad was the musical director to this movie.
Really?
And he knew all about her. Or she knew. Blanche knew all about her. She was telling me the stories and the innuendos. Apparently, he was married to his first wife while he was on the road. That was before I came along. I came around on the second wife.
Okay.
And whenever the story came up about the first wife, nobody ever wanted to talk about it. Oh, the marriage was annulled, and what's for supper?
Kind of what's in the past.
Yeah, they blocked it away from the kids. The kids never got a chance to find out what happened. But he met my mother in Prague right after the concert, conducting the Czech Philharmonic, and there was a Hollywood movie star that came to be in the 60s that left Prague at that time. He was the one that introduced my dad to my mother. His name was Jan Rubisch. He was in a movie called Witness with Harrison Ford. He played the Hutterite guy, the beard, the elder.
Okay. I don't recall the movie exactly. I'm very sure I've seen it.
That guy is the one that introduced my mother to my dad in Prague in 1946.
Wow. Small world.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. What a story. What a story.
And so now your old man, he's the musical director.
Yeah.
Of this
Well,
show?
there were
Or
there
a
were
musical
one of them.
director.
There was several of them, but he was given a big chunk of the show to do, and his specialty was Slavic, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, all that stuff. Because they're all the same. Don't let them try to
Right.
tell you any different.
Yeah, I
They're
know,
all
I
the
know.
same. They all eat pierogies and they all like kobasa. That's
There
all
you go.
What else do you eat? Oh, that's good. This is amazing, the amount of infrastructure that's here. These bridges.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cost $1 billion to build something like that today.
Yeah, I'm sure it will when they have to do it again too.
After the next earthquake?
Yeah.
Yes. I've got a 21-foot fiberglass with a 350 in it. And this is the type of place
yes.
where a boat like that would love, because it's a deep V and you don't have to worry about getting swamped,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh well, back to Saskatoon for me. So,
Okay.
heading to Saskatoon right now. It's only 1,000 miles from here.
Okay.
So am I scaling westbound from here, or I don't have to go south?
You're gonna go. Let's take 210. That'll get you over to Grand Forks, but that's a little bit more south of here. Let's take a
Yeah, well, Grand Forks is the last leg to Winnipeg.
There we go. So, yeah, it depends, how much of the states you want to cover. We're right here.
Yep.
You want to get up there, so
Okay.
either you can take
Yep,
that
this
all
is
the way
way,
into
this way.
Williston and
So
take it
that's
up.
number 2. Just stay on 2.
And 2 is right around the corner here.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
okay, 2 and just take 2 straight up to Winnie,
Yeah.
and then go across on the 16 trans.
I wonder if Grand Forks has a Golden Corral.
I'll look her up for you. I understand.
I just came back from Vegas, and people have to pay 3 to 4 times more to get a Golden Corral effect.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know how cheap you can get Golden Corral eggs? $7
Dirt cheap.
for lunch? Especially if you say you're a senior and they don't check. You look kind of young for your age, don't you?
Yeah.
No, they don't even ask you
No, I
that.
can't. I mean, could you? I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable if I had to.
Yep.
Grand Forks,
Yep.
Golden Corral.
No.
Yep.
Excellent. First choice.
And
Guess what the second choice is?
What's that?
All you can eat bread, soup, and salad.
At Olive Garden?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
$7?
Yeah, that's about the only thing I can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
that's
can
all
try.
I need.
I try all 4 soups.
Exactly.
And the salad, the big salad, comes to me twice, right? I got.
It's good stuff.
Oh, and good for you too. Good for you.
Yeah, all those soup. This is a good soup day, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Grand Forks. So that's. You want me to print you a little map here to show you about where it is?
Oh, I'm gonna be.
Oh, you got
well,
it.
I for a souvenir though. That's gonna be good. Got to commemorate the event that someone actually knows who Ira Bong is, and
Oh well, I mean, that's his bridge right there.
they named a bridge after him.
Yeah.
The
That
Ira
very bridge right in front of you.
The Ira Bong Bridge.
That is correct.
Wow.
It goes back to the joke around here. You got the high bridge over there, and you got the Bong
You
bridge.
got the Bong Bridge.
The high bridge and the Bong.
So you don't have to get high on the Bong
Right,
Bridge
there you go.
because it's already pretty high.
All right. So here you go. That's about where it is in Grand Forks.
Okay.
Off of, 32nd Avenue. So hopefully it gives you a little bit of,
Beauty.
a little bit of orange.
So how long do you think it'll take to get there?
Out of Grand Forks?
Yeah.
My Grand Forks. 4:45 Bismarck. I'm gonna say.
Sounds like I'm gonna make it for the closing hour.
I wonder how late they're open there. I'd get on the road though. I mean, you could.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it. You could
Hey,
probably
well,
get there
there's
by
always
7.
the Olive Garden. They're open till 10.
There you
so
go.
there you go. That's the second
I'm
choice.
thinking you can get there by 7. Though.
What's your name?
John Sherman.
John Sherman?
And yours?
Sergei Romanov.
All right.
I hope that I see your publications in the near future.
And we'll check you out.
And I hope that you stay in touch with me.
Do you do this? Do you do the strip on a, your cartoon? Do you do that on a regular basis, or is it just kind of an idea that you were doing?
The reason I call it a cartoon character is because as a real person, people won't accept him. He'll have to start as a cartoon, and then we'll graduate him into the real person.
I know exactly what you mean.
I've got a couple of videos on YouTube. One's called In Search of Graffiti Man, and this is what Dr. Bongwater looked like 10 years ago. If you go to In Search of Graffiti Man, he's the host. He's an
Is this going to link to a lot of that?
There's 104 videos on Dr. Bongwater channel.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what I need to know.
And I think you'll like Graffiti Man.
Okay, because I have fun checking.
It says a lot.
All right.
Because have you ever noticed, before I go, how media treat graffiti? They'll show it, but no, let's not show them too much, because we'll give the children an idea, and they'll think that's a good. Let's not show that.
They do tone it. It is censored.
Oh yeah. So both sides cheese it, and the city, they don't know if they should cover it up with gray paint or if they should put a frame around it. Because some of it is good.
Some of it is beautiful.
And others is just pure vandalism.
Then it's saying vandalism is okay or whatever, so.
Yeah. So what happened in Search of Graffiti Man is this TV station called INN. They belong to the INN network, which stands for I Know Nothing. In other words, he's a yes man. I know nothing. I say yes. The biggest ass kissers in the world work for the. Okay, no, that's actually the International News Network, but we won't tell them. Yeah. We'll stick with the first I know nothing. And all right. Oh, and what happened is the TV station goes under siege. The graffiti artist, graffiti man, whoever he is, found a way to go in and take over. We don't find out because I haven't found a broadcaster to pay for the second episode yet. Because this is improv comedy. We don't know what happens till we get there.
Right.
What do you think we are? God?
I love it. I'm checking it out. Though.
John, right?
Yep, John.
Last name again?
Sherman.
Sherman.
John Sherman.
Wow.
Sergei Romanov.
All right.
We'll see you around.
John Sherman. Good guy. Take care. Well, that was interesting. This was in the, please no pets in the building, so don't pet yourself. And welcome to Minnesota, known to the citizens of the North Star Gate. Did you know that bridge behind us was the Bong Bridge? I wonder if that's the blade off the P-38.